So as I said, I'm Traci Fant. My talk show is Real Talk with Traci Fant. It airs live every Sunday from 3 o'clock, from like 3 to 4 on 105.7 FM. And when I heard you were coming, I was very excited because I followed you on Twitter for a long time, even before Facebook and everything. I think I followed you on Twitter for maybe like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was really excited to finally meet you. Because at first I was like, who is this dude? Who is this guy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's pretty young. And I even told Julie, I'm like, man, he's pretty young. How can he give me relationship advice?
Right.
But then I listened to your bio. Your bio is deep.
Thank you.
So tell us about your trip here, and are you excited about being here, and what led you to do what you're doing?
I'm excited to be here. This is my first time in Greenville, and I didn't foresee myself being in Greenville, South Carolina, but I met Tory Dandy, who has the Tory Dandy Foundation, and so he had some ties in the area, and so it was, it was a no-brainer. And so I'm excited to be here, and what brought me here, I would say, is purpose. I feel like it's still a outer body experience every day. Like when I wake up and I realize what I do for a living, and I know it's just God using me and giving me the words, giving me the wisdom. Because if it was my own merit, if it was me, then every 30-year-old black man or man would be saying the same things, would be married and be faithful and be trying to help build our brothers up and strengthen our sisters. But the fact that I'm doing it, and sometimes it feels very lonely, I know that it's God's, call on my life.
Exactly. Wow. I can feel what you're saying, really, because I do a lot in the community, and as from the activist standpoint, I know that you're in a lonely lane, and so it's great that you know how to stay in your lane, though, because you being who you are, you've been on Oprah, you've done so many things. You made it to places where other people are probably like, wow, how did he make it there? But like you said, but God,
right?
And a lot of people do need to realize that God will push you to whatever limit you're trying to go to.
Right. Yes.
This year right here is my year of speaking into existence.
Right.
Everything that I want, I'm gonna do it marvelously and magnificent, and everything I'm gonna be on top of my game. But I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Right.
And so I think that's very important. Your wife, man, you really promote your wife.
Right. Right.
I really love that. Have you always been that type of guy that promoted your spouse, or did that take some growth as well?
It took growth. When I first got online, and that's why I'm able to understand, the relationship side, especially involving social media. Because 2009, when I first got on, and then between 2009 and 2010, where I was building my brand, I didn't really say much about my wife. People knew I was married, but I didn't say much about her. And it began to, I felt like God was convicting my spirit.
Yeah.
And I felt like that I was leaving room for failure.
Exactly.
I was leaving room for, if I got weak, I could cheat,
Yeah.
And so it hit me probably around 2010 that I need to cut out all room for failure.
Wow.
I need to be on Front Street. I need to promote my wife. I need to show black men and men that it's okay to be in a relationship, to be faithful, and to praise your wife. And I also need to let people know that I'm serious about what I'm doing. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't be promoting her. I wouldn't be mentioning her.
Exactly.
I would just be married and keep it on the low. But I added it to my bio, and whenever it hits me and I'm feeling it, it just comes out. I don't have a schedule say, oh, promote your wife Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Right.
It's like when I'm feeling overwhelming love, and I'm just in my thoughts about her like I was this morning, and I really wanted her to send me some grown folks pictures, and I just, I'm missing my wife, so I made a post about that love, and so it's really, but I feel like it happens when you commit and you are 100% focused on the one you're with.
Do you have any suggestions for people that are married or either in a long-term relationship about communication? I've been married, this will be my 5th year, and sometimes I catch myself, either me and my husband communicate too much or we don't communicate enough. Do you have any suggestions on how you can communicate better in a relationship?
Well, you have to learn one another's communication style. So with my wife and I, if something happens, if it's not worth breaking up over, it's not worth arguing over. So we will have a discussion. We'll make sure it doesn't turn into an argument. And then we understand our shutdown points. Mine could be 3 hours. Hers may be 30 minutes. 30 minutes, she's about tired of talking about it until the next day. Me, I can talk about it for 3 hours. And so we have to understand that. And then we start seeking to understand, then be understood. And there's no yelling. There's no name calling. There's no cursing. We're using I feel statements. We're taking turns, no cutting one another off, and just respecting our different communication, patterns. And it helps us a lot. We haven't argued in over 5 years by keeping those things in line.
And one more thing, my friend Roxanne Wakefield has a question. She said, do marriages get stronger as they go on, or do you think they get weaker, or how do you keep your marriage strong?
If you're faithful and you're focused, they get stronger. So I've been with my wife almost 8 years. In March will be 8 years we've been married, and going on 10 years that we've been together. And because I'm 100% focused on her and I'm 100% faithful, 8 years feels like 8 days. Now, when in the first 2 years, when I had wandering eyes and I was leaving room for something to happen if I got weak, them 2 years felt like 20 years.
Wow.
And so I realized when you are focused and you're faithful, it gets stronger and it gets better. It's like anything. It's like if you love your job, if you're chasing your purpose, it's like when you focus on it, you almost obsess, over it, and you love it and you enjoy it. And so that's how it is with marriage.
That's great. That's great. Well, and you're very transparent on Twitter and on Facebook as well. You show pictures of your kids. You got beautiful 2 sons, right?
Yep, 2 boys.
2 boys, and you also, express loss as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything. Like I said, I've been following you for a long time.
Thank you.
And so I'm just like, wow, it's really deep, your testimony and everything that you've been through in life. And so I truly appreciate you for giving us this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for bringing your thoughts and your wisdom to Greenville, South Carolina. I'm sure we're going to enjoy it. You guys, thank you for listening to Real Talk with Traci Fan. Thank you for watching the video. And the magnificent Tony Gaskins. If you're not here, you should get here. It's going to be an awesome event. Truly
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.